800-919-3776. Jake Asman in for Michael K today, taking you till 3.
No Michael K.
We'll get to your calls coming up. Everything's on the table. Michael K does the free-for-all Friday. That's what we have here. On a Friday in May where the Subway Series gets underway, the Knicks might have an opponent by the end of tonight, and the NFL schedule is out, so everyone's playing the win-win-loss-win game. Now to the Jets. I've gotten some heat for this take, and let me say something. I apologize to absolutely nobody. The Jets need to win Week 1. Week 1 is a must-win game for the New York Jets. I don't care if there's 16 other games afterwards. If you are a diehard Jet fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If they lose Week 1 to Robert Saleh, who was 20-36 as the Jet coach, and then the Jets have to play the Packers, the Lions, and then the Bears, why would any Jet fan not think this team's starting 0-4? After they started 0-7 last year, and if you're doing a draft of head coaches in football, Aaron Glenn goes 32nd out of 32. He's the last coach picked. The Jets, if they can't beat the Titans, where are the wins coming from? That's why I think it's so important. And it's a narrative game. The pressure that is going to be on the Jets to win when you're facing Saleh. You think Woody's just going to sit there and be okay if the Jets are competitive Week 1? Oh, they came out ready last year against Aaron Rodgers. Great. Did they build on it? No, they played the Bills Week 2, and we're down 30-3 in the fourth quarter of that game. I think the Jets have improved their roster dramatically this offseason. But there's a couple things that could be true. The Jets could be better, and their record could still be awful. I think they've improved their roster from the roster we saw certainly at the end of the year, that last game against Buffalo. I mean, Geno Smith, say whatever you want about him. He's a professional quarterback. He can complete a pass, unlike Justin Fields, who the owner himself said could not complete a pass, which in football, I don't know if people are aware, you typically need to be able to complete the forward pass to have a chance to win games, typically. So if the Jets can't win Week 1 against Saleh, why would any Jet fan think this year is going to be any different? Like, Aaron Glenn needs some instant credibility in that locker room that, hey, I learned from my mess last year. I learned from my issues. I hired a much better staff. We got a professional quarterback in Geno Smith. We have a legitimate offensive coordinator in Frank Reich, who maybe his best days are behind him, but he's not inept. He's coordinated successful offenses before. You know, we added some playmakers in Kenyon Sadiq and Omar Cooper Jr. in the draft. We have Garrett Wilson and A.D. Mitchell. Breece Hall is now extended. He's a good player. The defense added some notable veterans. Like, the Jets have improved. But their coaching is the biggest question mark. And there's a reason why their win total is at 5.5 games. There's a reason why they have 0 primetime games for the first time since 2007. And by the way, I'll push back on that stat. The Jets played on Turkey Day in 2007. Kellen Clemens played against the Cowboys. It was a horrible watch. But that technically doesn't count for primetime because kickoff was at 4:30 in the afternoon. But let's say you do want to count that as primetime. You got to go back to 1981, the last time the Jets did not have a primetime game. So the NFL thinks the Jets are terrible. Use it as motivation. And anyone who's surprised that the Jets were going to be playing the Titans Week 1, you got to, I don't know. You got to check yourself into rehab or something, because you're on drugs if you didn't think the NFL was going to squander the opportunity to put Robert Saleh against the Jets Week 1 after they put Aaron Rodgers against the Jets last year, Sam Darnold against the Jets in 2021, and Darrelle Revis against the Jets in 2013. This has been a thing they've done to the Jets for years. And how about this for just a stat that makes you go, how is this an actual franchise? The Jets have not won an opening game on a Sunday in 10 years, since Todd Bowles was in his first year. When the Jets have won their Week 1 games since 2015, it was the Rodgers 4 plays, and he was done. Jets won the game that night. Whoop-de-doo. Worst win I've ever experienced. And the other one was Sam Darnold's first game on Monday Night Football, where he threw the pick 6 on his first pass in Detroit. And that's it. Every other year, the Jets have started 0-1. They have not won a football game Week 1 on a Sunday since Todd Bowles was in his first game as the head coach of the Jets. And ironically, Geno Smith was on the team. He was supposed to start that year, but because Ike Manapali punched Geno in the jaw, Ryan Fitzpatrick started that season, and the Jets, the last time they were actually relevant, actually a winning team, finished 10-6, and we know what happened in Buffalo. So, for the love of God, win week 1. Again, I could literally say the Jets season comes down to week 1, and people think I'm nuts, but I'm not. You're telling me they're going to beat the Packers if they can't beat the Titans in the opener? They're going to beat the Bears on the road, the Lions on the road? Now, if they win week 1, all of a sudden maybe you gain some confidence. Maybe you could talk yourself into, hey, over the next 3, can we at least just win one of them? Right? The Jets beat the Titans, who won 3 games last year, have a brand new coach, brand new coordinators, ton of roster turnover. You have an advantage at quarterback. You should have the advantage at head coach, right? Everyone tells me Robert Saleh is so bad, he's the worst. If you win week 1, and right now I'm very iffy if they'll win, but let's say for this conversation here on the Jets, they can win week 1. I can make a compelling argument that the Jets could find a way to win maybe the Packer game, the Bears, the Lions. You just need one. Right? Remember the Jets went into Pittsburgh with Zach Wilson in 2022? They started the year with the AFC North. Literally, they played the entire AFC North, and everyone said the Jets are starting 0-4. Well, they were 2-2. They had that miracle win against the Browns with Joe Flacco, and then Zach Wilson returned from his knee injury that he suffered in the preseason and led a fourth quarter comeback down 10. Jets were 2-2. Year 2 of Saleh, they were 6-3. They were fake good for half the year. We had a season. I'm just asking for the Jets to give me a season. I want a season. I don't want the season over before Columbus Day. So if you don't win week 1, where are the wins coming from? And if you do win week 1, win one of the next 3, and then guess what? You're home against the Browns. Then you play the Patriots, but even if you lose that game, Dolphins home, Raiders home. Can you be 4-4 through 8? Do you believe in miracles? Yes. We will have a season. Again, the bar is pretty low, but you have a professional quarterback. The team, I think, is better. And it's football, man. Daniel Jones and Brian Daboll, a couple of years ago, when everyone said the Giants were going to be one of the worst teams in the league, went 9-7-1 and won a playoff game. Things happen. But if you lose week 1, it's just going to bring back the same old Jets. Here we go again. No one wants to deal with that. Nobody. So if you're Aaron Glenn, don't lose to Robert Saleh in the opening game of the season. You do that, and there's not going to be a single Jet fan, if you're being honest with yourself, that is not going to picture this team starting 0-4. Last year, it was 0-7. I'll tell you what, they start 0-4 after they were 0-7. Does Glenn make it through the year? They'd be 0-4 going into that Browns game. If they lost to the Browns at home, that's the, Glenn, you're gone. Here comes Frank Reich to be the interim head coach for the rest of the season. You can see it now. And I've gotten heat on the morning show. I woke up to a text from Rick DiPietro, call in, these animals are hammering you. I'm like, what did I do? Want to see this team not have its season be over before Columbus Day? Every Jet fan knows it is true. If they lose week 1 to Robert Saleh, we know where this year is going.
The Jake Asman Show is now presented by PrizePicks. PrizePicks is a daily fantasy app made simple. Just pick more or less on your favorite players' projections and build your lineup in seconds. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use code HMA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. And PrizePicks is already offering NFL futures, including futures for New York Jets players. Take a look at the lineup that you see on the screen. Garrett Wilson, more than 4.5 reception touchdowns. David Bailey, he's going to have at least 7 sacks his rookie year. Arvell Reese, almost a Jet. I think he'll have at least 3 sacks in his rookie year with the Giants. That is a 3-pick power play, $10 to pay out $60. That is just an example of some of the lineups you can make over at PrizePicks. Make your own lineups today for any sport. Just download the PrizePicks app, use the code HMA, and get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup.
Is it technically a must-win? No, not technically a must-win if we really want to be technical. There's 16 more games. But the feeling the Jet fan has deep down, you all know I'm right, is that if they lose the Saleh week 1, it's here we go again, same old Jets. And this year, there's no such thing as a culture win. I don't care about a culture win. Don't beat the Atlanta Falcons on a walk-off Nick Folk kick from 56 yards out in the rain. Lose that game so Fernando Mendoza could be our quarterback. No, the Jets win that game, and he's not. This year, if they get up to an 0-4 start, we are going to reach Gase levels of tank for this team. With 3 first-round picks, most cap space in the NFL next year, And the March for Arch is officially on. So that's why I think week 1 is so important. Because if you don't win it, why would anyone expect you to then find a way to beat the Packers, the Lions, or the Bears over your next 3? Why? You've given us no reason to believe. You were 0-7 last year when you were trying to win, Aaron Glenn. You're trying to win. Started 0-7. Oh, but they were ready to play against Pittsburgh. Great. How'd the next week go? Did they really build on it? Or were they down 30-3 and got their asses kicked and embarrassed by the Buffalo Bills? Have to win week 1. If you can't beat a 3-win Titans team with a brand new coaching staff and a second-year quarterback, when the head coach of the Jets said play calling on defense is his superpower, who are you beating? 800-919-3776, 800-919 ESPN is the number. We will hit a quick break. We'll come back. We will get to all of your calls. We have Stephon Marbury joining me in studio coming up at 2 p.m. We'll talk some Knicks with him. Who does Steph want to see the New York Knicks play in the Eastern Conference Finals? But everything's on the table today. Knicks, Subway Series, Jets and Giants schedules, all that and more. Stephon Marbury at 2 p.m. Jake Asman in for Michael K. You're watching on the ESPN New York YouTube channel, and you can listen on 880 a.m. and, of course, the ESPN New York app.
No, Michael K.
Here we go. Don't miss out on the biggest and best meetup of the year. Saturday, July 11th, Atlantic City, New Jersey. HQ2 Beach Club. We're taking over, baby. At 12 p.m., it's the Gangrene Beach Club. Hosted by some of your favorites. Jake Asman, Rich Samini, Brandon Tierney, Fireman Ed, Connor Hughes, Antoine Staley, Brian Costello, Ryan Sampson, Zach Rosenblatt, Will Parkinson, Frankie B, Omari Brown, Matt O'Leary, Green Bean, Ryan Delaney, Richie Marula, Robbie Sabo, Dom C, Joe Blewett, Nick Faria, Paul Boy Green Esden Jr., Bree Martinez, Dick Shine, Tyson Roush, and more surprise guests to be announced. Get your tickets now. Must be 21 or older. Host subject to change.
Hey, here's the deal. Just got no chance unless you click on that like button. And you got to make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show. You don't, you can get the f*** out. Now let's go, Asmaniacs. We're built for this shit.